The plaintiff would like to call Carl Fieldman to the stand.
Okay, if we could get Mr. Fieldman on the screen, I will swear him and we will get going.
Your Honor, Mr. Fieldman has been instructed to unmute and to turn his camera on.
Good.
I believe he is appearing at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen.
I'm
Please
here,
proceed.
Your Honor.
All right, if you'll raise your right hand, be sworn. You do solemnly affirm the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Hayes.
Thank you, Mr. Fieldman, for being here with us today.
You're welcome.
Mr. Fieldman, what is your current occupation?
I'm a human factors and safety professional. I specialize in accident investigations, primarily in a forensic environment.
And you've been a forensic expert in human factors and safety for how long?
Well, I've been a human factors professional for about 30 years. I've been using that knowledge in the forensic world, investigations, testimony consulting for about 24 years.
Okay. And you have academic credentials in this field, correct?
Of course.
Okay. What is your education background?
I have a bachelor's degree in psychology with emphasis on sensation and perception, and a master's degree in safety management and safety engineering technology.
And is your master's degree, did you learn about accident prevention?
Of course. That was really the basis of the whole program, understanding what causes accidents, what causes various kinds of safety issues. Most of the program had to do with some kind of accident prevention scenario.
So if you would, sir, please explain to the jury what is meant by human factors.
All right, well, what we do is we analyze and study human capabilities and limitations and apply that knowledge toward the design or analysis of whatever it happens to be. We think about things like perception and how we perceive the world around us. That's one element of human factors. Like, for example, what would cause a person to maybe not notice something that they encounter, and or in the realm of traffic accidents, for example. Why did the bus driver not see the pedestrian? Why did the pedestrian not see the bus driver in order to avoid collision? And those are issues having to do with human capabilities and limitations and how we can apply that knowledge toward the particular thing.
And is slip prevention part of that?
Oh yeah. I consulted for the Navy, and slip prevention was a big deal because, as you can imagine, there's a lot of potential for slipping and falling on ships. And in the forensic expert business, probably about 70% of my cases have to do with some kind of fall accident. So having done some study in my master's program on causes of fall accidents and how to potentially prevent them, it gave me a good background to get started in the forensic business.
Now, are you a member of any professional groups as it relates to the science of human factors and safety?
Yes, I am. I'm involved with the American Society of Safety Engineers, National Safety Council, International Code Council, the National Floor Safety Institute, and the American Society of Testing and Materials. I focus on things having to do with floor safety mostly.
What did you do to evaluate the incident in this case?
I personally visited the site, this particular Walgreens, and then I also reviewed a whole bunch of materials, which would include some surveillance video clips and photos of the subject area, a manual called the Walgreens Ready for Business Operations Manual, a Walgreens incident report, and a witness statement by the cashier, Cynthia Jackson, and some depositions.
All right, and having reviewed those documents and having actually been to the location and having done your analysis with your background and experience, have you formulated certain opinions with regard to the work that you've completed?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And what are those opinions that you have come to? If you would, just please give us the headlines at this point.
Okay, sure. So first, it's my opinion that there was a dangerous condition that existed at the time of the incident, and that the floor was slippery because of debris, and that the plaintiff was acting safely and with ordinary care based on the surveillance video and also her own testimony. The condition, meaning debris on the floor, caused Ms. Mulligan to fall, and the defendants knew or should have known that there was a hazard. and that there were some very easy remedies to have been, if they were implemented, then the incident would have been prevented, and that Walgreens' investigation was inadequate and unfair to the plaintiff.
What was the dangerous condition that existed?
Okay, well, first we expect an area like this as patrons that the floor is going to be clean and dry. And that's our almost universal experience when we go into a place like Walgreens or any other big retail store. And often when people slip, it's because there's a disconnect between what condition they expect to exist and what actually exists. So second, this is a smooth, buffed, glossy vinyl composite tile. And unfortunately, it had dirt and glitter on it. And any dirt like that on a smooth floor is going to make it slippery. Even worse, the dirt was right in front of the checkout counter in an aisle where you expect people to go.
In the surveillance film that you did review, did that help confirm this assessment?
Yes, it's my opinion that the video does confirm this, basically in that, well, in two ways. First, the slip itself looks exactly like I'd expect it to look based on what she says happened. And second, you can see things on the video that make it clear that she's right about what happened. The way she behaves, pointing to something on the floor and showing Miss Jackson that she slipped on, and the way Miss Jackson behaves, sweeping up what Miss Mulligan pointed out to her. All those things would suggest that there's something obviously on the floor. And all of that is consistent with Miss Mulligan having slipped. She wouldn't go running back going, well, what is this? What's going on with the floor here? If she didn't think something on the floor specifically caused her to slip.
And what was your opinion about Miss Mulligan's actions on the video?
Actually, vague and ambiguous.
Sustained?
Did you
Okay.
form any opinions about Miss Mulligan's actions on the video?
Yes, Miss Mulligan, the plaintiff, was acting safely and with ordinary care, and that's a simple one. I mean, we can see from the video and also from her own testimony that she's simply getting ready to check out, and she just elects to go pick something up on the shelves in front of the store. She's not walking backwards or texting or reading or doing something that would cause her to be inattentive to her surroundings. She wasn't doing anything unusual.
So why wouldn't she notice the glitter on the floor?
Okay, so often slip and falls happen in stores because we don't typically look at the floor much when we're walking around in stores. And this is well established, well documented, and virtually every safety discussion about why should you keep the floors clean all the time leads to the point that our guests are looking around at things that they're interested in, and they're really not interested in your floor. We tend to look at signs, we look at people, we look at shelving, we look at the things we might want to purchase. It doesn't mean we never look at the floor, but we typically look at the floor in a very cursory way in an environment where we expect it to be generally smooth and clean and dry.
Now, getting back to the actual fall, how do we know from the video that she actually slipped and fell and not something else?
Okay, so in this case, Miss Mulligan's right foot can be seen on the video to slip forward and to her left. And at that point, she loses her balance and falls forward. Right? That is something we've all experienced. Like when we were kids, we used to put our socks on and slide on a hard floor. We would slip forward. So that's the evidence from the video about her slipping at the time of the incident.
So it's your opinion that she did indeed slip on something on that floor?
Yes, this is a very important point. Miss Mulligan indicated in her deposition that she felt a definite sensation of slipping on a slippery floor. And that was also exhibited by her during the video by going back and looking at the floor like, what the heck is this? All of that kind of behavior is consistent with having found something slippery on the floor. And in my 25 years doing forensic expert witness work and working specifically on falls, it's universal that if a person slips and falls, they remember what the triggering event was. We remember this, we feel it, we feel our foot slip, or we feel our foot trip over something. She felt a slip, not a trip. On the video, you can even see her recreating it to show to the cashier and the manager, and she always indicated that her foot had slipped on something.
And you indicated that you also read Walgreens EHS, or Environmental Health and Safety Walks documents, is that correct?
Yes.
I would like to, well, Your Honor, I'm introducing Exhibit 12 into evidence, which has already been stipulated between the parties.
Okay,
May I proceed?
sure.
I'd like to publish Exhibit 12, page 5, number 15.
Okay. It's on the screen.
Is my witness on the screen?
I'm here.
He should be down below.
Your Honor, are you able to see my witness?
Yes? He's waving.
Okay.
This is Sarah Murray, the technical bailiff. If everyone is set to gallery view, you should be able to see the witness toward the lower right of your screen, as well as the document on the shared screen. Thank you.
So these are the points that the management is expected to notice when they go on what they call EHS walks, environmental health and safety walks, about once a month. Is that correct?
Yes. And they indicate this item 15, it says aisles free of trash and debris and are defects in flooring being corrected. And then you have A, B, and C. Aisles should never be blocked with merchandise, trash, or debris. B is all aisles, including the sales floor and back room, should be free of merchandise and debris, which could cause a slip and fall.
Okay. Thank you. We can stop sharing. Do you believe that they complied with their own environmental health and safety walk protocol in this situation?
Well, at the time of the incident, no, because the aisle wasn't clean and free of debris.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Friedenthal, would you like to inquire?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please do.
Morning, Mr. Fieldman.
Good morning, sir.
You're not a certified safety professional, correct?
That's correct.
You're not an expert in biomechanics, correct?
That's correct.
You've been designated as a human factors expert in this case, haven't you?
That's correct.
In this case, did you get an exemplar of the floor tile that was used at Walgreens?
I didn't go out and get one. I happen to have one used as a reference tile in my quote laboratory.
So you have a laboratory where you have flooring material from Walmart or Walgreens?
It's my garage. Yeah.
Garage. Okay. What was the flooring material made of at Walgreens?
It's a vinyl composite tile.
Do you have any criticism of the use of vinyl composite tile?
I do not have any criticism of the use of vinyl composite tile.
And that's used commonly in multiple applications in retail, correct?
Yes.
Did you ever see plans to indicate what products were in the store that might have caused the supposed dirt and glitter problem on the floor? No?
No, sorry, no.
Did you ever request any of those plans to show where these items might have been located relative to where the accident was?
No.
Did you ever think that that was relevant to know what products were in the store on the date of the incident that could have potentially caused the condition that you say was unsafe?
No, I thought about it, but I saw in at least one deposition that nobody knew, and they couldn't identify which specific glitter-containing materials there might have been, so I didn't pursue it.
Do we have Exhibit 30, Mr. Brooks?
Can you tell me the reference number to that exhibit?
You know what? We can move on. Mr. Fieldman, you're familiar with the National Safety Council data sheet on falls on floors?
Yes.
Okay. And on the first page of, and you've reviewed that document in the past, correct?
Yes.
All right. And on the first page of that document, at the top right-hand column, it says, and I'm quoting, "The primary causes of slip and falls on floors," and it gives a list of causes, correct?
Yes.
Right. Now, the first thing it says is the presence of foreign substances like food, water, grease, oil, sawdust, soap, and debris. Agreed?
Yes.
What's the second thing it says? The next, it's your memory.
Human factors, including physical conditions such as limited peripheral vision or knee function.
Sir, do you know what, do you know any kind of medical, did you do any type of medical record review in this case?
No, I did not.
Right. Did you do any kind of investigation as to the condition of Ms. Mulligan's right knee prior to the date of the accident?
No, I did not.
What's the next bullet point next to among the primary causes of slip and falls on floors?
Unsuitable footwear.
Okay. And sir, did you do any investigation whatsoever as to the type of footwear that Ms. Mulligan was wearing on the day of the incident?
Prior to trial, no.
Okay. You didn't think that footwear was important?
Sometimes, no, I didn't, no.
Okay. And you didn't request footwear information from plaintiff's counsel, did you?
I don't remember whether I did or not.
So you provided one article that you used in researching this case, and among the primary causes of slip and falls, that article discussed limitations on knee function and unsuitable footwear as being primary causes of slip and falls, correct?
Among the list of primary causes, yes.
Okay. And despite that, you chose not to investigate the condition of her knee, Ms. Mulligan's knee, and the shoes that she was wearing, correct?
That's correct.
You did no testing on the boots whatsoever, correct?
True.
Did you do any testing on the flooring near the site of the incident?
I did not.
Did you have an opportunity to do that if you wished to?
Sure, I could have. I mean, I did a site visit at the store. I could have done some slip resistance testing.
Okay.
Didn't seem necessary though.
Okay. And you didn't conduct any other experiments to determine how this accident occurred, correct?
No, I didn't do any experiments.
Okay. You never went and obtained glitter that was similar to the kind of glitter allegedly sold at Walgreens to replicate the slippiness of glitter, did you?
No, I did not.
And you didn't do any kind of analysis as to the type of dirt that would commonly be tracked in the store from the surrounding areas, did you?
No, I did not.
Thank you. I have nothing further, sir.
Any redirect, Ms. Hayes?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You are excused.